Hi everyone, we're going to run through lead setups today, just really quickly. I'm going to start off with the easiest one, which is a running lead setup. Usually it's the first one you start off with, because you usually end up starting off by feeder fishing or float fishing, but you can take it over to carp fishing. You've basically got a lead that just runs on your line. So when you get a bite and the fish takes it, there's no resistance at all. Good for when there's no weed or snags about. No good when there is weed or that, because the lead gets caught up in the weed, and then you have to bring the fish all the way back through the weed to get the lead out, and 9 out of 10 times you lose the fish. So showing these based mainly on fused leaders because it's easier, it shows up better on camera rather than tubing, but you can set it up with tubing, fused leaders, lead free stuff, or lead core if you can use lead core. And that's the simple one with just a swivel on the end and a bead put over it. Then you've got the quick clip, running clip, then normal lead with a sleeve to stop some movement. You've got the OMC one, and I think Fox do it as well. This one's actually attached to my rod, so I've got, and this one's on tubing. But you've got this little, like, what do they call it, a tagpole bead or something. What you've got on there, you've got these little ridges, mainly this ridge here, that the run ring that comes in the kit sits over. So you end up with a slight bolt effect, like you would with a lead clip, but then it's in running. So you get good bite indication. You get good runs off these and all. That's for when you're fishing normal, like commercial lakes where there ain't much weed or that, or snags, and you don't want to drop the lead all the time. But it's like North View and that, when you got you're expecting a few bites and you don't want to be dropping the lead, because obviously, like, you got the lead clip, standard lead clip. Obviously when that hits the weed or that, it just pops off, which is what most people do start off using, is a lead clip. I mean, this is a hybrid lead clip on a fused leader. So I'm going to do a video with different types of lead clips, and that later on at some point. Got then for when you're fishing hard bottom lakes, like gravel pits, and when you're fishing on gravel and that, an inline lead's a good idea. Gives you picks the lead up from the heaviest end. So this is only a little 1.5 ounce one, set up on some lead core. I've got a long tail rubber just pushed over the I've cut the plastic insert down and then pushed this tail rubber over it. This is one of the naked tail rubbers, I think they're called, for when you're fishing with no tubing or that behind your lead. Always gives a nice bolt effect. Then you've got the drop off inline for fishing. Most people use it in solid PVA bags. I like to use these when I'm definitely snag fishing or that, because obviously the fish pulls from this end where your rig would be tied to, and obviously that pulls that out, and then quick shake of the head and that will just falls off. Like I say, I'm going to do a little video later on showing how to set these up and tie them up properly. It's just a quick little video to show you the different LED setups there are. There's only really just 5 LED setups, or 4, and a variation, because this is the drop-off inline's a variation of the inline. So you got your running, your LED clip, your inline, and then your helicopter LED setup, which is the one I prefer to use. And since Calder brought out this the HeliSafe, they make it so much easier to use in slightly more weedier conditions than you would normally use one, because obviously you can just drop the lead when you're playing the fishing. So I mean, I prefer using these because I tend to use more fluorocarbon rigs and stiff rigs and like stiff hinge rigs and that, so it sits better with a helicopter rig than it does with say a running rigs, running lead setup. You can use coated braid or normal braided rig. It just depends on how clear the bottom is to how stiff a material you can use with these. I mean, inlines, really, like I say, you want to be using them on hard bottoms, because if you're using it on a soft bottom and it goes in, it can land like that, and then your hook link's sticking out that way. So if you're using a stiff one, it can stick right up out of the lake bed and look really horrible. And that. Well, that's a quick rundown of the lead setups. And so I mainly use the helicopter system with a running rig on another rod, running lead. Ben prefers an inline, and you got I think Kieran's more lead clip. Oh, not the camera again. We'll go further into more detail on how to set things up and that later on. And that, so we'll leave it there for now. Hopefully we'll be out on the bank soon, catching a few. If not, at least we'll be out on the bank. So until next time, onwards and upwards, and keep the lines tight.